Welcome back to Stories from the Vine. Today we're taking a look at Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So I paired the book with Seven Deadly Sins for a few obvious reasons and probably some that are not so obvious. But reading the book, we loved Evelyn and her relentless pursuit of fame. Her best way to get there was through husbands, all seven of them. They pushed her star power higher, or they served as a distraction from unwanted gossip, but they all served a purpose. So the book had to be paired with the Zinfandel because the Zinfandel grapes tend to ripen earlier than other varieties. You catch my drift? Evelyn ripened early. Evelyn said, "I was gorgeous. Even at 14, I turned heads. Now, I take no pride in this. I didn't make my own face. I didn't give myself this body. Come on, Evelyn had to be paired with a Zinfandel." So let's dig deeper into the seven deadly Zins. So I think there's an obvious reason this wine was chosen. Seven husbands, none of whom Evelyn married for love, and seven Zins. So when we learn about the Lodi Old Vine Zinfandel, the wine is described as sinful indeed, full-bodied and seductive. Wow! Evelyn was sinful, and she was full-bodied, and boy was she seductive. So let's see how the book described Evelyn. When you see pictures of Evelyn back in the day with her brassy blonde hair, those dark, straight as narrow eyebrows, that deep tan skin, and those golden brown eyes, you have no choice but to stop what you're doing and stare right at her. And don't get me started on that body. No ass, no hips, just huge boobs on a slim frame. We have to focus on Evelyn's body because so much of the book is about Evelyn using her body to get what she wants. So her body is a pretty significant theme throughout the book. It had to be paired with a full-bodied wine, but even better is pairing it with a wine that describes itself as sinful and seductive. So let's look at the history of this winery. The winery states that it was born from a Catholic school upbringing and their winemaker's lust for hedonistically seductive wine. I think we can all agree that Evelyn was hedonistically seductive. So in looking at the winery's description of the Zinfandel's tasting notes, they reference the lingering spice-touched finish. Do you remember how the author described Evelyn's first kiss with Celia? She said that Celia tasted like the musky creaminess of thick lipstick and the sharp, spiced sting of rum. So this was a key turning point in the book. Evelyn's focus at this point seems to shift away from an inward focus on herself to an outward focus on Celia. And the wine describes a spice-touched finish. After all the marriages and all the divorces, where did Evelyn land? Where did she finish? She finished with that sharp, spiced sting of rum. She finished with Celia. So what do you think of this pairing? Does the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo pair with Seven Deadly Zins? What would you pair it with? This was another pairing from Stories from the Vine. As always, live fully through good wine and good books.